Hello and welcome to the Game Boy Insights podcast. I, your host Khaled Beiruti, will be discussing all types of video game insights. And for today's episode, I will be discussing about the correlation between the environmental climate issues that are connected with the gaming industry, a topic that is kind of new to me and not very well discussed upon other platforms, I believe. Alright, so before we begin, I want to give a disclaimer on the importance of doing your own unbiased research on climate change. I recently watched an episode of Fridman on climate debate with Bjørn Lomborg. He's the president of Copenhagen Consensus think tank, and Andrew Revkin. He is also a respected journalist in the field, and they both acknowledge that there is a spectrum of beliefs that ranges from alarmists to deniers about climate change. But they both agreed that there needs to be action beyond the belief-disbelief fight. So that's basically what we are doing in this episode. So knowing this, let's jump right in. So apparently, the gaming industry has a big effect on the climate change narrative. So according to studies, the gaming industry contributes significantly to carbon dioxide emissions. To put this in perspective, a study on PlayStation 4's energy usage in Europe alone suggested that the lifetime electricity use could be as high as 27 terawatt hours. That is basically equivalent to Hungary's annual consumption in 2018, just that alone. And that, of course, extends to energy-intensive PCs and like other consoles, Xbox, Nintendo, whatnot. So this is basically doing a considerable environmental impact. But it's not all doom and gloom. The gaming industry is actively seeking solutions that lessen its environmental impact. Switching to renewable energy is one approach. One example is Wargaming Sydney. They are the company basically behind World of Tanks, and they made the switch and even saved money in the process. So yeah, larger companies like Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo, and EA are also making strides. So Nintendo, for instance, already uses 98% renewable power, showcasing a commitment to sustainability. Of course, this is all according to Polygon. But the thing is, there's other sources like Dundle magazine that are more skeptical of these AAA companies to be more on like greenwashing. So greenwashing is basically promising change without doing much on it. But I would hope for the best and keep spreading the discussion about the solutions. The responsibility doesn't solely lie with the industry. Players can also contribute to the positive change. While some suggest educating players on the climate crisis, immediate reductions in emissions should be the primary focus. Game developers can, of course, lead by example, examining their workplace emissions and exploring the switch to renewable energy. So companies like EA are encouraging digital downloads over physical purchases. Of course, like Samsung Hub, newly released, they're having even virtual consoles. So we have another cases, such as one game called Alba, a game centered around conservation contributed to planting a staggering 1 million trees and restoring 3 habitats. The impact doesn't stop there. During the last Green Game Jam, studios with a combined reach of 1 billion players engaged 130 million players worldwide. So this is spreading the awareness. This led to around 60,000 pledges for UN campaigns, including Play for Forests and Glowing Gone. Tongue twister, but this resulted in $800,000 in donations to environmental causes. So, as we wrap up, it's clear that the gaming industry has its problems, but with its vast reach and influence, it is in a clear position to drive positive change. From renewable energy adoption to sustainable gaming practices, every step counts. It's a challenging journey, but with the collaborative efforts, we can transform the gaming landscape into a force of environmental good. So join me next time as I continue exploring the evolving relationship between gaming and the world around us. This is Game Boy Insights signing out.